Welcome back to episode 7. We're actually, we just shot episode 6 20 minutes ago. Yep. But I decided to take my coat off because I was getting a little hot.
I'm still freezing. I was going to change this so we could look like I was wearing different clothes. And I thought about it and I was like, it's too cold.
2 podcasts same day, bro. We're rolling. I took 2 Readies before this, bro. I feel great.
Mine just kicked in probably towards the end of the last one. And I was
Selfless plug. Go buy Modern Warrior Ready.
Yep.
We don't run ads. So go buy our shit. Dude. So this one, we were kind of debating on, what we wanted to talk about, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I sent a video to our Peak Nutrition group chat last night. Chad Wright, friends with Andy Frisella, First Form, that whole crew, he was out there, and they did a run together. It was like 8 miles or 10-mile run or something like that as a team. They had packs on. Basically what happened is 2 of the teammates, when they finished in front of everyone else. And they decided to go back into the gym and just hang out, joke out, stuff like that, while their team was still running. Right. So Chad, the big military guy, knows his shit. He's the leader of that, crew.
Right.
He was calling them out. Mm-hmm. He was like, bro, that's bullshit. If you leave your team as they're still going and you think this is just all about you, that team's never going to win. Mm-hmm. So we were kind of dissecting it and we were like, yo, I mean, that's a good point. Like, how do we feel about, the teams that we have? Because we both run teams right now at our stores, 4 people for me, 2 or 3 people for you. Yep. So, we've obviously had multiple employees, but 3 things he said was if he's looking for something, 3 things he looks for in a teammate, right? Dependability, skill, and selflessness. Those 3. Huge. So let's dissect them, bro. Dependability, being able to be a dependable person for your fellow mate.
Yeah.
Like what
is dependable to you?
Dependable to me.
What does that mean?
Is like I think of like a buddy that I can call at 3 a.m. I know he's going to answer and he'll have my back.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then so for in the store, like work wise, what is that?
I think if I'm pulling weight, if I'm doing things, but my partner, I can't depend on him to take the next customer and run through the whole thing with them and do his notes and make sure that he's on top of his shit, or even, cleaning, like midday checklist. If I can't depend on you to when I'm not there, make sure that you're also pulling your own weight for this team.
Right.
That's a big problem.
Yeah.
So, and same for me, right? I need to be able to be a dependable person for other people.
Right.
So I need to be doing the things when no one's watching. Right. I need to be able to be there for someone in a pinch when they need me, because I care about the team's success.
Right.
And if I wasn't dependable, if there was a team full of not dependable people where you couldn't trust them, I think it would be very hard to succeed at the end of the day.
I think it's hard because two of them kind of lead into each other. When the people who are not dependable are typically selfish.
Yeah.
You're typically not dependable because you're putting yourself first.
Right.
So if you think of a person who's typically late, why? It's because their time matters more than everybody else's. Yep. Why did the person not go through a full interaction with the customer? Because they were tired. Because they were hungry, wanted this to end so they could go eat. Mm-hmm. Right? And that's not, like you're saying, that's not the dependable person. That's not who I want to be working side by side with.
Right.
I want to know that you're willing to stand there for 8 hours, starve with me, not eat, but we crush the day.
Yeah.
Because if we don't eat a single meal and we look at each other 8 hours after the day's done, that first meal we eat together,
so good.
Dude, we fucking killed it.
So good.
So good. Yeah. And I've had days like that where stuff like that has happened, and it's just like, oh, you feel good. You feel great, man. There's days where I think we were all up in Scottsdale. They had all the coaches up there. Probably about this time last year.
Yeah.
And I don't think we ate once throughout the entire day, and that was around 5.
Yeah.
And that was it. But all of us were exhausted, but we had an amazing day.
It was worth it.
And that's the kind of thing it should be every single day.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't know which one matters more, but I think I would start with selfless, just because like the 3 you said, selfless, dependable, and skill. If you're not dependable, like I said, you're most likely a selfish person.
Yeah.
Because everything always revolves around you. you always come first. You will never put someone else before you.
Yeah.
The second you can flip that,
Yeah.
and you are always willing to put someone else first, you are now already the most dependable person.
Yeah.
Because if, hey, so-and-so's sick, I need coverage, I'm there.
Right.
I can depend on you because, yeah, it's your day off. Yeah, you just worked the last 6 days. But when it's like, fuck it, no, I'm in. Because I can tell the store needs me, I'm there.
Yeah, that also builds up your credibility. You know, at the end of the day, if you're not dependable, you'll never be able to stack up any kind of credibility with anyone. You know, if you're not a man of your word and you tell someone you're going to do something and you don't, over time, that takes a chip at your credibility as a person. You know, and in a team dynamic, when you only have 5 employees, right? If that's 100% is 5, and 3 of them, or even 2 of them, maybe even 1, depending on culture and stuff like that.
Yeah.
2 of them are not dependable and they're not pulling their own weight. What that does is sometimes that can create animosity between the people that are doing their shit.
Right.
And there's this natural kind of friction between the team. And
Right.
it has never worked out in all of my experience. If there is even a fraction of your team that is not selfless and is more just focused on themselves, getting their check, making more money, doesn't really care about the customer. They're just worried about, you know, how they look, their stats, stuff like that.
Right.
That never works out, dude. And even the best players in the world, they had skill, right? If you think of like Kobe, like he had more skill than 99.99% of America.
Right.
But also he held his team to a very high standard.
Right.
And he was dependable.
Right.
So now he can expect for his team, he can hold the line now and expect them to be dependable and selfless, right?
Right.
At the end of the day, because if you can't do it yourself, kind of back to accountability and credibility, then you can't expect other people to do it.
Right.
You know, it'd be like me showing up late to work every day, and then I get pissed at a new employee for showing up late.
Right.
He's like,
But you do that.
what's going on here?
Right.
Nothing's adding up, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even thinking like when you said Kobe, the first thing I thought you were going to say is he was selfish.
Yeah.
But because that's how he was seen as a basketball player.
Think about it.
But the amount of work he put in to be good night in and night out, that was him being selfless. The nights where he was up at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the Redeem Team on Netflix?
No.
So it's like it's the documentary of that
Lakers?
team with LeBron,
Yeah.
Kobe, Wade.
Oh, USA.
Yeah.
Basketball team. Yeah.
So they're in Vegas, and the entire team's out partying, whatever. They're getting back to the hotel at 4 a.m, and Kobe's dripping sweat, walking out of the elevator. He had already finished one workout, and these guys were about to go to bed.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh shit! Like Kobe's, he's already at it, and he's about to go do another workout. He was just gonna go eat breakfast first, you know." And so when you think about that, yeah, he was seen like he didn't pass. He was a ball hog, whatever. But it was the amount of work that he put in.
Yeah.
That is what actually made him the most selfless person.
Right.
Because I doubt he wanted to wake up at that time.
Fuck
He has I don't know how many kids he had, like 7, 6. He would probably rather spend time with them.
Yeah.
Right? Because
But he's thinking of the team.
Right. He's already traveling all the time, but now he's thinking of the team and he's thinking of his family. In the end of it, the better I do, the more money I can make, the more I can provide for my family.
Yeah. Yeah.
So everything he was still doing was selfless in the way he could provide for his team and his family.
Right. And I always think you have to be a certain level of selfish before you can be selfless.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can't yourself, you know, put time and energy into this, like the best investment you could ever make, there's no way you can be selfless and give a hand to someone else.
Yeah.
If you're fucking lazy and you're going through your own shit and you're not taking care of yourself and like your skill, right? Like, you can't help someone else. You know what I'm saying? You can't lend that hand out to someone else. So there is a certain level of selfishness you need to create for yourself before you can even think about helping the team.
Yeah.
Right? A team full of monstrous individuals that like really hone their craft and get better and just be the best version of them. If there's 5 people doing that,
Right.
well, now it's just like, how can I help this guy? How can I help this guy? Because I want the team to be great.
Right.
You know, if you're only if you can't get to that level that you need to be yourself, you can't help someone else get there either. So I think selfish, that term, gets a bad rep sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I think
It's demonized.
Even, and I know my mom's going to watch this, so I'm saying it to her directly.
Tell the camera.
She will put everybody before herself. My dad too. It's both of them. I get mad at both of them because they put everybody before themselves so much that they don't take care of themselves.
Yeah.
And I genuinely get frustrated with them because I know that there's me as the bodybuilder that's already seen. The term bodybuilder is like he's a selfish person.
Yeah.
And I know
it's a selfish sport.
And I know that's the connotation attached to it, but I can personally say I know I am not a selfish person, right?
Yeah. But you have to be in certain areas, right?
For certain tendencies and certain things.
Yeah.
But the core of me will always give. I will always be putting other people first.
Do you think you always had that?
Putting other people first?
Yeah.
Definitely not.
No.
I am the second.
What made you
I'm second
change
child
that?
through and through. I am. Davey had to sacrifice everything.
Yeah.
If I wanted something, I was mine. You know what I mean? Like that's just the way it was. I would say probably just the biggest change was. So biggest thing. So it was my second year in college. My cousin Gabby, she was probably the smartest human I've ever met
On the planet.
Yeah, and she was finishing her degree, and I know she was stressed out. She was trying to graduate, whatever, but she would still take care of me who was half-assing school, barely showing up to class. I would meet her in the library 5 minutes before a test and be like, "Hey, can you teach me this?"
Yeah.
Or I would show up an hour before my class and say, "Hey, this is due in 45 minutes. Can you do it for me?"
Yeah.
And she was so willing to help me that she's like, "I'll do it for you, but tonight come over and I'll help you.
Yeah.
Learn this so you can actually have it for yourself." And I was a taker. I was taking all of it. You know, it didn't faze me until I finally realized I didn't graduate. So it means there's a lot of effort that goes into this. And she was graduating with a degree that was much harder than mine.
Yeah.
She took that time to do that.
Yeah.
She was
Selfless.
willing to stop what she was doing to help me. She had her boyfriend. He's a good friend of mine. They're married now, but so at the time, she could have been spending time with him.
Yeah.
You know, they could have been doing their own thing. But no, she would make time to meet with me in the library.
Right.
When 1, she could have been studying. 2, she could have been in the gym. 3, she could have been with Nick. All these other things she could have been doing.
Yeah.
And not once did she complain about it. And due to this day, she would never throw that in my face.
Yeah.
Because even now that I didn't finish school, it's like that was even more wasted time of hers that she could have put into herself and maybe decrease some of her stress.
Yeah.
And she never did it.
Yeah.
But like that's a lot of how my family is, but they go so far in the selfless side
Right.
that like I wish my parents would
Take some time.
just
for
take a little
themselves.
time. Like
Yeah.
I know you guys love helping. They like helping my brother out with the girls. They like to just see them. They love being around the girls. I don't blame them. If I could go down there every weekend, I would be doing the same.
Right.
But my mom does get sick easy. So if she doesn't sleep 8 hours, if she doesn't stretch, exercise, protein, hydration,
Yeah,
if she misses
take a
it for
toll
a
on her.
day or two, she has a rough next week.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, dude, I want you to be here when I have kids. I need you to actually take care of yourself. I need you to be a little more selfish. I'm not asking for much. I'm just saying 2 hours out of a day, nothing else matters. Take care of you so that the next 6 days, you're taking care of other people. That's fine. I just need you to be okay to actually do this.
Yeah, in the long run, you'll be able to help more people if you're a little bit selfish in the micro.
Right, because
You know what I'm saying?
you're trying to pour from an empty cup at that point.
Right.
But if you have this giant cup, because you keep refilling your own cup, you got a pitcher and a cup, you're going to keep going. You're going to keep
Right.
serving to everybody. And so that's the biggest thing I get so mad at them for. So I love you guys, and I just want you guys to live forever. And so this is all I'm saying it for. Take care of yourself, please.
Yeah. I think because these are traits, right? Mm-hmm. It's like being dependable, having skill, being skillful, being selfless. They're not really they're not things that you're just born with.
Right.
At the end of the day, as might be contrary for some people to believe. Like, you're not just born being dependable. You're not born having skill for sure.
Right.
You're not born being a selfless person.
Right.
You know, you have to learn these things. You know, this always pisses me off when I hear people say like, how is he always enthusiastic? Well, you know, he's just an enthusiastic guy. He's just always happy.
Right.
Well, he's just a happy guy at heart. Like, what, you think there was a fucking chromosome that I got when I when I was born that just says happy?
He's happy.
He's be a happy baby, live a happy life. Fuck no, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, these things you have to go through, and you have to be called selfish multiple times to realize, like, oh yeah, the power of being selfless is a lot better, you know, than always being selfish all the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have to go through this trial and error phase to realize, like, who do you want to be, who do you not want to be, and like hone these skills, you know?
Yeah.
If I'm going to work on being dependable, if you're watching this right now, you're like, you know, I don't know if I'm the most dependable person right now. Take actions, right, that help you be dependable.
Right.
You know? So stay a little bit later tomorrow. Like, if you're watching this right now, tomorrow you're going to work. Stay a little bit later, help someone out. See how you feel.
Yeah.
Right? See what that gives you. Do it for a year, you know, to the point where you can look back on your life and be like, you know, I took the steps needed to become the best teammate I could possibly be.
Right.
You know?
And so just like you were saying, like what Chad Wright was saying is, you're not done until the mission's completed. So just like you're saying, for the person who's going into work tomorrow, that's making sure everything that was supposed to get done today is done.
Yeah.
Maybe you got all your stuff done, but did 2 other people need help?
Right.
That's you going out of your way to take the next 30 minutes instead of getting off at 5, you get off at 5:30.
Yeah.
Because you went and helped. But now, because you took those 30 minutes, your company just advanced 10 steps instead of 1 step because you got your job done.
Right. Yeah, realizing in the long run, your team, and even going back to being selfish, you will make more money. You will be better the more that you spend this time and help other people. Right. It's just how it works at the end of the day. You know, and why do you think culture is so important with, you know, a business, a team? You know, like, why is a team that's way more skilled able to lose on a Sunday to a team that's not as skilled but has a way tighter bond, better culture? Like, why is that?
They're just willing to die for each other.
Yeah.
Like when you have a culture where everyone's willing to do everything for each other, you cannot lose because everyone's going to go out there and do everything for each other. So that's where hard work beats talent.
Yeah.
So that's the team that has all the skill because maybe Monday through Friday practices were weak. They were soft because they know they're good.
Yeah.
But then the other team, knowing that they're the underdog, they're not supposed to be there. They're busting their ass and they're staying later Monday through Friday, watch film again Saturday instead of spending it with their family before the game on Sunday.
Right.
So that they can win on Sunday.
Yeah.
I will take a person without skill but has the other 2 traits over any other combination.
Yeah.
Because again, if someone is selfless and dependable, I could teach that person anything.
Yeah.
Because they are also going to be on my hip the entire time asking me questions because they'll see how much work I do and not want me to do that much.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, hey, Diego, well, what else can I help with? What do I need to know so I can get here faster? Right. And we've seen those employees in the stores.
Yeah.
You know, we've both been here you've been here, I think, 2 years now.
Yeah.
I'm almost at 2 years. We've had a lot of employees come and go, and putting those 3 markers on people.
Yeah, if you had to gauge it, like if you really look back at all the employees you've had, like the best ones, if it was like a metric-based thing, they're probably like very green in selflessness, very green and dependable. I think of Theo. He's one of the guys at my crew right now.
Okay.
He came into the job being very dependable. I'll help out with whatever I need to do.
Okay.
Very selfless. Like, you know, I'll stay extra and help you with this. You know, I'm really just thinking of the team. Like, this isn't about me. And he's been able to increase his skill exponentially more than some of the past employees I've had that didn't have those 2, but they had maybe a little more skill coming in, thinking that they kind of knew it all.
Absolutely.
I think the number one way to gain skill quick, not only reps and doing it, but is to come to the realization that you don't know it all. Right? Like, you have a lot to learn. And if you can always keep that mentality as if I don't know it all and I have a lot to learn and I'm selfless in my pursuit, you're going to gain so much more skill than people that come in knowing that they probably already kind of know it all,
Right.
and they're not really listening to any feedback or being coachable or anything like that.
And I agree. I've had those people come in, and there's nothing wrong with them.
Yeah.
They're still good people. It's just for what we're trying to do. If you come in with too big of an ego, it's not going to work.
It's gonna mess up the team
I
dynamic.
do still have to teach you something.
Right.
There is still our process. You might even have more supplement knowledge than me, more fitness knowledge than me.
Yep.
And that's fine. I don't have an ego with it.
Yeah.
'Cause I've already been humbled before enough in life that
Yeah.
like someone comes in knowing more than me, I don't care. I'm not
Right.
even this like I said, my cousin Gabby, she's the smartest person in the family.
Uh-huh.
So I've never been the smartest person.
Right.
I got to deal with that already.
Yeah.
But I got to teach you how we do things.
Yep.
So if you can get rid of that much of your ego and understand you don't know everything,
Right.
we're going to go so much farther. But it's just harder finding those people.
Yeah.
It's funny. I just thought of this. You asked me the first moment, like when I finally started getting out of it.
Yeah.
It might have actually. So I had a glimpse of it that there was a chance that Diego might not be a selfish person, and it was when I was 17. We were juniors in high school, and we were like in a food fight for the cafeteria, and so 3 of us got in trouble for it because that's who the art teacher had seen. So it was me, Matt, Cameron. So basketball coach is the vice principal, and we all play basketball. So we all get pulled into the gym, and he's making us run. And based off of either damage that we caused or stuff we threw, whatever it was, he had each person running a different amount.
Got it.
Well, Cameron finished first. Me and Matt were still running, and then I finished, and then Matt still had like 4 down and backs or
Yeah.
4 suicides to go. And I was like, no, I threw just as much stuff
Yeah.
as Matt did.
Yeah.
And so I got back on the line, and I remember telling Cameron, I'm like, we're running with him.
Yep.
And we started going. And I remember the coach getting pissed and yelling at me for getting back out there. And I told him,
Mistake.
dude, we're in this. We literally did the same exact things. So I'm running. I'm doing what he's doing. And then afterwards, Matt was like, dude, you didn't have to do that. And I'm like, no, I felt like I did, you know? But again, he's also like my best friend. So I don't know if I would have done it for anybody else.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's like a small part of it of like, it was me I stepped out of it of myself. You know, I could have just not ran.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. That was just a small
No, that's great. That's great,
flashback
dude.
just to thinking of it.
You know, it kind of sucks because you could actually be very good at anything. Like if you have a ton of skill, you actually don't really need to be selfless and dependable for some situations. Like you could probably make a lot of money and be very successful, like just having a ton of skill.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like if you're not in a team dynamic, right? Like you could just
Right.
you could just have skill and be selfish. How many fucking people are just selfish, very successful, work hard, but like they're not thinking of anyone else, you know?
Yeah.
Like you can do that, right? It's the choice to go the other route that I think just pays off for you more at the long run.
Yeah.
And you can actually sleep at bed at night and be like, you know, like especially if it's with a team, you know, I did everything I could for this team at the end of the day.
I think team is the biggest part of it.
Yeah.
If you're gonna stay an individual, honestly, you can
Yeah.
not.
You're probably very good at it.
You probably still have to be dependable because of whatever your work is.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be selfless.
Right.
So if you have the skill and you're dependable on yourself, yeah,
You probably go pretty far.
You honestly, you can still make it really far. But something that we touched on a previous episode was how James is doing things. He could go far.
Yeah.
He could do his own thing, his individual thing, the Zins,
Yeah.
the ready Zins.
Yeah.
But it's not. He's trying to create something that's bigger, long term.
Yeah.
And he's taking a kick in the nuts year after year until we get there,
Right.
because he wants all of us to win
Us to
together.
win. Yeah, and that's legacy.
Right.
Can't create the legacy part, right, if you don't have that selfless gene in you
Yeah.
going, you know. You could create something good, but you can't create something great.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. Right on, bro. I like it.
Alrighty, well, that's the end of this episode. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe.